All right, so what is up, YouTube? So that's right, 2025, new year, new start. And so, I kind of wanted to do a little video about just the devices that we could see this coming year. And so first, let's just start out with the iPhone lineup. And so starting first, the iPhone SE 4. Now, if you haven't already, click the link up here. We actually already did a video about it. So definitely, if you're interested, click up here. But the iPhone SE 4, just a little recap, we should be getting that all-screen design that we have been expecting for just a very long time. The iPhone SE 3 is very outdated when it comes to the iPhone 8 style design. We should also be getting the A17 Pro or the A18 chip, depending on which one Apple wants to throw in for us. Both chips will allow for Apple Intelligence and the 8 gigabytes of RAM. The back camera sensor will be one module, but it will be going from, I believe, a 32 megapixel all the way to a 48 megapixel sensor. So definitely it's going to be well organized when it comes to the cameras and the camera layouts. The best part about this whole update is that it will have the all-screen design, but it does come at probably a more pricey price point. I expect it to go up maybe at least $50 to $100, but we will see, of course. And of course, I will do a review about the phone whenever it comes out and a little bit sooner before the phone actually drops. Now let's talk about the 17 lineup. And so first, let's just start out with the whole 17. So the 17s all across the board are supposed to be getting a little bit of a bump in ceramic shield when it comes to the glass, as well as anti-glare protection, just so that your phone looks a little bit more vibrant when looking at it in brighter environments. The other thing is that each phone will be getting the ProMotion 120 hertz display. And so this is actually really good. 120 hertz is very revolutionary, especially because it just allows your phone to slow down or get faster depending on what it needs to do on screen. The best part about this is that the 48 megapixel main will be coming to the iPhone 17 Air as well, which will be the new lineup, because I believe Apple is trying to drop the Plus lineup just because it's kind of been a little iffy, I guess you could say, for the Plus phones. And so that's right, Apple is planning to bring in a new lineup called the 17 Air. And so what's special about this 17 Air? Well, so it's expected to be the thinnest iPhone ever made. And in fact, if you haven't seen the video about it, definitely click up here. But we're thinking about 5 to 6 millimeters thick. So definitely interesting when it comes to how durable it is and if it will bend, just like the 6 Plus did. Now for the 17 Pro and Pro Max, we should be getting a 48 megapixel telephoto and main and ultra wide, basically just allowing for better pixel quality, but also allowing you to zoom in on Taylor Swift whenever she's singing and you're in the nosebleeds. Now the 48 megapixel camera will also be featured most likely on the regular 17s, just like I said earlier, but we should also be getting a 24 megapixel front-facing camera on all of these models. So that's right, don't have to be a pro user to have some pro features. And so I think that this is really good. The dynamic island is obviously going to come to all of these phones. I think the dynamic island might get a little bit slimmer just because Apple is figuring out new ways to compact Face ID down into its smaller parts. About the Apple Watch, and so the Series 11, well, we'll just start out with the Series 10. The Series 10 didn't really have that big of an update, and neither will the Series 11. I feel like we're kind of at the end of an era for the Apple Watch, just for a little bit. I feel like it's going to be a rough 3 years for the Apple Watch, just because it's kind of going to be the same device, just, maybe a tiny spec bump. But so for the Series 11, we should be getting the blood pressure monitoring sensor and, of course, the 5G connectivity. Now, for all of these devices, especially the iPhones, Apple is planning to make their own 5G modem to compete with TSMC's, which would actually be very good considering the fact that their M series chips have beat Intel chips out of the water. And so I think that their M series chips and possibly their 5G modem chips will actually beat TSMC's or Qualcomm's out of the water. Let's talk about the Ultra 3. So we could be getting satellite connectivity, which is actually great when it comes to an adventure watch. You kind of want to make sure you have connection just in case you get in a little emergency. But then there's also a better display. because, well, we'll just say that whenever the Series 10 came out, we didn't really get that full screen display that we got from the Series 10, and so the Ultra series should be getting a little bit of a better display. Now the Apple Watch SE. So this one's kind of crazy. So we think that it's going to be sort of a Series 7 design. We're not totally sure 100% of what the sensors could feature, but we think that it could be a blood oxygen sensor for the SE finally. But we should be getting a Series 7 like design, which will basically kind of bring a new all screen design style rather than the current Series 4 design style. What this will also mean is that we might be getting an always on display. The body for this would probably be a rugged plastic or like an anodized aluminum plastic body, just because it might be a little bit lighter, but then it'll also be a little bit more rugged when it comes to giving it to, say, your child to use and things like that. So I definitely think that the Apple Watch SE might be a good recommend for this year, especially for Christmas. The AirPods. So we already saw the AirPods get updated last year in 2024. Man, that's so crazy. I'm already saying because, you know, I think it's so long ago, but so that's right. So we got a little update with the AirPods. We got the hearing aid detection on the AirPods Pro 2. This year, we think we're only going to be getting a new model for the AirPods Pro 3. The only reason why is just because AirPods Max got the lamest update with USB-C. I think Apple is actually going to cancel the AirPods Max lineup pretty soon, just because either it's not making them enough money or they think that they can do better with tiny headphones than over-the-ear headphones. Now, if you haven't seen my review about the AirPods Max, definitely click up here for that review. Basically breaks down the whole thing, but AirPods Pro 3 are expected to get maybe a little bit of a new design, especially when it comes to the case. The case is expected to have a screen on it that will basically allow you to do noise control and things like that. So, you know, it'd be cool if you could download your music on the case. Say you don't have an Apple Watch, but you have AirPods Pro 3, download music on the case, go on a run. That'd be pretty neat. But it would also allow you to play, pause, and control your music from the case. I think we should be getting some health features on these AirPods. I don't see why not. They've been testing it for a little bit. We could be getting heart rate sensors or something insane like that. I don't know why you would need health sensors in your headphones, but I get the whole hearing aid thing. I think that is really cool. And so, yeah, that's definitely something neat to look forward to. The iPad lineup. So we saw the iPad mini get updated. No redesign, just the A17 Pro chip. And so this year, I think with the entry-level iPad, we should be getting the A17 Pro chip rather than the A14 chip, basically just allowing for Apple Intelligence. The iPad Air should be going from the M2 chip to the M3 chip, also allowing for, you know, obviously better commands, better updates, and faster performance, but not really that big of a performance where I would say upgrade. I will say that they're bringing a new Magic Keyboard in that will actually have function row keys, because for some reason, I guess the current iPad Air Magic Keyboard just doesn't have function row keys. Comment down below if you know why. And if you guys are enjoying this video, definitely hit that sub button, hit the like button, and let me know what you guys want to see next in this channel. For the iPad Pro, the only big update we're expecting is just the M5 chip. And so that leads us to the Max. And so the MacBook Pro, we're expected to be getting the M5 series chip, as well as what would this mean for performance, because it feels like we're kind of just ending the level of performance. So I think what this is going to allow is it's going to allow for a stacked processor on a 3nm process, basically allowing for better performance, and the transistors are closer together that they will move fast, or that they will transfer information faster than before. The MacBook Air should be getting the dual monitor support, just because it's going to be getting the 3 Thunderbolt ports that we have had on the MacBook Pro for this year. It also should be getting the M4 chip, which the M4 chip, again, is actually built off of Apple's AI neural engine. The Mac Studio should be going from the M4 chip, or sorry, the Mac Studio should be going from the M2 chip to the M4 chip. The reason why is just because, well, it's kind of old and it kind of needs to be updated, considering that the M4 Pro and the M4 Max is kind of getting to the point where it's a little bit faster than the M2 Ultra. And so I think we should also see the new look of the M4 Ultra, basically doubling the performance of the M2 Ultra. It would also allow for Thunderbolt 5, which, as we saw in the keynote, has insane transfer speeds. And the Mac Pro. There's not really a point for us to have a Mac Pro right now. And it's really just because there's not really an easy way to change the RAM, add more storage. And it's just because Apple's kind of gotten to the point where they're soldering everything onto the device. But let's just say we did get a Mac Pro, probably see the M4 Max and the M4 Ultra in it rather than the M2 Max and the M2 Ultra. Not that the M2 series chips are bad. I think actually M series chips have great lifespan and they are great. I still recommend sometimes the M1 MacBook Air. I mean, if you can find one. All right, let's talk about the home. And so first of all, Apple's not really big on HomeKit, it feels like right now. It seems like they did whenever iOS 18 came out and you could change your control center. But the Apple TV should be getting an update from the A15 chip to the A17 Pro. Not too big of a bump, but it would basically allow for Apple Intelligence if Apple wanted to put something like that on the Apple TV. The HomePod Mini, we should be getting a better chip inside of it. I believe right now, the last time it was updated, I think was 2020 or 2021, which kind of sounds crazy, but we should be getting either a newer chip, because I think currently there is the S7 or the S8 chip inside the HomePod, and then we should also be getting new colors and of course better stability and sound quality. Now Apple's also started to leak this Home OS system for a possible smart home system that basically competes with the Google Nest Hub or the Alexa Echo Show. And so what this would allow for is obviously your ability to control your home from just this one screen in your house. Now, I will say that I wish Apple would open up a little bit of a door to allow for more third-party access. I think Apple should, rather than you having to buy a bridge or go through any like jibber jabber like that. The Apple Vision Pro. So we should be getting a longer battery, and it's just because we're going to be getting the M5 chip as well as more external display support with the Apple Vision Pro. Obviously, we're not expecting too much with the Apple Vision Pro, and it's just because Apple has kind of slowed down the development and the manufacturing of the Apple Vision Pro. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. We're going to continue making content this year, and so yeah, join the Easy Nation. But until the next one, guys, I'll see you around.